What's the deal, family? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got another banger for y'all, man. So look, we got how this Crip became an NBA All-Star, man. Okay, man, we talking about Demar Derozan, Compton, Los Angeles, very own. You know what I'm saying? Up in LA, bro, we always tend to know like which players is coming out the city. You know, you got Russ. You kind of got Paul George. You know, sometimes they be, on the outskirts. They're not, like, really L.A., but, like, you know what I'm saying? But still, like, they still the home player. They still on the home team or whatever. Paul Pierce, like, there's a few players out there, man. We always tend to make sure we stay up to date with that. But we got this one, Demar Derozan, straight out of Compton, man. And I knew he was a Crip, but I don't really know his whole story, nothing like that. So we gonna tap in with this video, see what they talking about, see what the info is, man. If y'all got more videos you want me to react to, you know what to do. Get at me in the comments. Let me know which videos. Hit me on the socials. Hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get to it.
And made it to the NBA, even though he was a Crip. How does someone go from joining one of the deadliest gangs to signing $100 million deals and becoming an NBA superstar? Well, this is the story of Demar Derozan.
Did people forget Demar Derozan is from LA?
He's thrown up the Crip sign. What does that mean?
Demar's life was filled with more.
Skip Bayless being a fad. He's throwing up the Crip line. What does that mean? What you think it means? We all know what it means. Don't worry about it. You asking too many questions, dog. Trying to be a fad, bro. We know what he doing. Why are you asking questions that already got obvious answers? Come on, man. Skip trying to get niggas locked up, man. Come on.
More tragedies than you can imagine. And it all started with the place he grew up in, Compton, California. Demar lived on the east side, where just walking down the street was dangerous because of a constant war between the area's notorious gangs, the Bloods and the Crips. But no matter how his notorious gangs, the Bloods and the Crips. But no matter how scary Compton was or how relevant the Crips would become to Demar's life later on, this place helped Demar fall in love with basketball, all thanks to the most important person in his life.
My dad was always into sports. You know, he had me playing everything. Shit, every weekend he'd take me to the park, do something. I gotta give credit to Pops for sure.
But even though Demar was preparing to become a young star, things turned deadly.
Early on, 5, 6 years old, I lost my uncle. I lost my best friend to murder. I haven't even had a developed mental yet, and I'm comprehending the worst thing possible that a kid could go through.
Demar was constantly showing up to funerals, and it taught him at a young age that any day, even he could be murdered. So he was forced to do whatever it took just to survive.
You knew what to look out for, you knew what to expect, you knew where to go, where not to go, what this street was, what this street wasn't. So the caution and the survival tactics that you needed to have.
But just learning the streets wasn't enough. Demar lived in a neighborhood constantly full of gang members, and he felt the only way he'd even stay alive was joining them. So he became affiliated with the Compton Crips.
You know what's crazy? Like, I was straight Crip.
Demar felt like he finally found his place, but combining that life with basketball would soon nearly get him killed. It's all cause Demar's high school basketball journey didn't start how anybody predicted. Instead of choosing a school that produced NBA stars in the past, Demar chose to stay close to home at Compton High, where he thought he'd be protected by the Crips.
Where you coming from right now?
School, fresh out of Compton High, from the Crip.
Here's where Demar gained the reputation as a kid who was dunking and bullying people on the court. That's what literally got him nicknamed Debo, after the popular movie character from Friday who bullied people in the streets.
Oh shit! Here come Debo. Give me your stuff.
But speaking of the streets,
y'all want to know a secret?
Oh shit!
Y'all want to know something crazy? If y'all seen Friday, right? That's my grandma's house. If you ever seen Friday, that house was my grandma's house. That was my grandma's house when they filmed the movie.
Here come Debo. Give me your stuff.
But speaking of the streets, Demar becoming this basketball bully was a blessing. Cause in his hood, there's actually an unwritten rule called the Hooper's Pass. This was a rule all gangs agreed upon to keep high school basketball players off limits of being targeted by any crimes. Now that Demar got that pass, he was able to play basketball with no fear and instantly became a high school phenomenon. As a freshman, he averaged 26 points and 8 rebounds per game.
26
That's
and
better
8
numbers
as a
than what
freshman?
LeBron James did during his freshman year, where he put up just 21 points and 6 rebounds per game. So DeMar's hard work was...
I ain't gonna lie though, Compton High, they not playing like the best teams, bro. Like, I don't know what teams was like really balling when he was in high school, but Westchester always been good. Like, there's certain teams that always got pretty good basketball teams. Westchester is one of them. You got like the Modern Days, you got like other teams like that. But I don't think, even when I was in school and probably before that, I don't think Compton really playing like top teams like that. But still 26 and 8 is crazy. I don't care what you're talking about.
finally paying off. Until one day, DeMar was walking to his favorite spot to practice hooping. And that's when a couple criminals started walking his way and threatened to kill him. But then they realized it was Debo, and they knew what would happen if they violated the Hooper's Pass, so they let him go. His basketball ability had everybody in the city talking about him, and his career was just beginning. So this near-death experience motivated him to take his game to a whole new level. He began dominating everybody, became one of the best shooters the city had ever seen, and eventually got himself ranked as the third best high school player in the entire country. So once he became this great, he got an exclusive invite to play in some of the biggest high school basketball events in the entire world. DeMar was proving to everybody that he was that guy, while also representing the Crips. DeMar admitted that in school, he wore blue every day, and he'd even throw up Crip signs during his games. So DeMar felt untouchable, but out of nowhere, everything came crashing down. One night, DeMar was rushed to the hospital. It turned out that his dad had a stroke.
Damn.
So doctors ran tests and everybody was fearing for his life. But all Dad could really say to DeMar was, I can't die. I can't die until I see you make the NBA.
Oh, I like
so
that.
DeMar felt he had no
choice
choice but to make his basketball career successful. But with time ticking, he also realized a huge problem. Because of NBA rules, for DeMar to even be allowed to get drafted, he'd have to be at least 19 years old and play 1 year in college. So DeMar wasn't going to be able to jump right into the league like other star players before him. And also, moving away from a place that kept him protected was scary. So instead of choosing a university in a safer city that would get him more recognition, he chose to stay as close to home as
He went to
possible
SC?
and play for USC.
I didn't even know that.
You could have went anywhere. Why USC?
I was terrified to leave home. And the crazy thing with that, even when I went to USC, I had such a culture shock. My first 3 months in college, I still was living in Compton.
Damn, that's crazy. Cause low key USC still in the hood, bro. You go outside of USC, bro, it's still all you right. I mean, you go just a little bit south of USC, bro. You right there. You right. You know what I mean? You go a little bit south, you in the bottoms. You go a little bit more south, you in the low bottoms. You go a little bit this way, you in Watts. You go like USC, the university, nice. The immediate surrounding like university stuff is cool. There's like a museum, some other nicer stuff over there. But then right outside all that, you in the hood, bro. You is in the hood. For real, for real.
Really? It's funny as hell to hear you sit here and say, I was terrified to leave Compton. Most people are terrified to go to Compton.
Right, yeah.
But the reason he's saying that is because, like I said, that's the hood. But that ain't Compton, right? So because he banged, bro, when you bang you from the set, bro, you don't want to be around certain areas or certain places, bro. You got Hoovers all up over there. You got a lot of other hoods all up over there. Like, you can get caught slipping. They might not care you play basketball. They might not care you play basketball. They might be like, you know what? Those hood rules and hood stuff only work in your city. But over here, it's different. We don't care about what you want. Your homie shot my homie. I got to get you. I gotta get you. You right here. I don't gotta leave my hood to get you because you in my hood now. So when you know that, it makes more sense. Like it's justified or understandable. But if you don't know that, it just sounds crazy. Like, what you mean, bro? You want to be in Compton instead at the university? Like, well, yeah, because if you know what's going on outside of that, yeah.
DeMar's college experience was all about just doing what was necessary for basketball. And during his 1 year playing for USC, DeMar started putting his name on the map.
Jumper, no good. Hit ball by Derozan. By Gibson. Left side, Derozan. Comes in and slam dunk.
He was a special player. And after NBA scouts saw what DeMar was doing during his practices,
Demar Derozan.
Oh, Myers.
Sports analysts compared his game to NBA legend Vince Carter. This was strong praise for a player who hadn't even stepped on an NBA court yet. But nobody could stop DeMar from doing everything he could to go pro for Dad. And before he knew it, his college career was over. So his opportunity to make Dad proud was finally here.
Nervous? Nah. Ain't no telling what's gonna happen tonight.
Tonight, 60 young men realize their lifelong ambitions of reaching the NBA.
Getting ready for the draft.
Got my boy Steph. They go Blakey Blake.
Blake Griffin.
About to head to the draft.
My man.
Derozan.
Look at it. Jay, tell them what it is, Jay.
About to get drafted, nigga. Turn it up, bro.
Feel like Obama.
James Harden.
Demar Derozan, this is it. This is what we waited for forever, man. And this night is it, man. It's crazy.
The first pick in the 2009 NBA Draft, Blake Griffin. With the third pick, James Harden. With the seventh pick, Stephen Curry. With the ninth pick in the 2009 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Demar Derozan from the University of Southern California.
You know, there are people who say he's got as much potential as any player in the draft.
With one of the top picks in the draft, he was now officially in the NBA and a Toronto Raptor. But as happy as DeMar should have been, once the shock of the moment wore off, his phone rang. He found out that Dad was sicker than ever. So DeMar rushed to visit him, knowing he didn't have much time left. But when DeMar walked in, Dad didn't even want him to be sad. All he cared about telling DeMar was a goal to accomplish before he passed away. To go win a championship.
Wow.
And DeMar knew, now that he was in the
Yo, shouts out to his pops, dog. Real talk, because a lot of people that just grow up in unfortunate positions or live in unfortunate areas or impoverished areas or grow up living in poverty, etc., just hardship, that grow up in hardship. You know, a lot of cats, you know, they might not have their fathers around, or their fathers might have been like here and there, you know. I was blessed to always have my father around, right? But not a lot of people have that blessing. You can still be in contact. Some of them ain't even in contact. Some of them might even not even know who their pops is. And so they don't get those experiences going to the court, learning the game, learning different little skills that may make you a better man in the future, etc. And he had that. And that gave him, you know, experience and put him in position that he could be able to win. And he also had somebody that inspired him and motivated him to continue to go after that grind and go after them goals. So when his pops was sick and said NBA, he made NBA. Pops even more sick now. He's like, forget the NBA, dog. You already did that championship. What are we talking about? At some point, I'm gonna go, but you still gonna be here. You need to make it. Need to make it do what it do, for real. And I respect the pops for that.
NBA, the only way he could accomplish that was becoming a star. Once DeMar stepped on the court, he developed into one of the league's best scorers. Got invited to the dunk contest.
This Demar Derozan had his first dunk when he was 11 years old in 6th grade.
Nice.
And eventually he stepped himself up to all-star level, where he was voted into the all-star game to compete with the best players in the NBA.
Demar Derozan.
But just becoming a star was only step one of Dad's goal. Time was ticking to win a championship in time. And even though DeMar was making plays that had stadiums going crazy, the Raptors randomly just gave up on DeMar and traded him.
Yeah, they did.
Demar Derozan, the newest member of the San Antonio Spurs. What was this past week like for you?
This trade became one of the biggest headlines in the world, because after DeMar gave a city everything he had, He was dealt to the Spurs, whose odds of winning a championship were nearly 0. And while he began playing for this new squad, none of DeMar's teammates knew how sick his dad was getting or what DeMar was secretly dealing with.
My dad got sick. I done flew from Boston to LA, went in the hospital. I flew home, LA to Toronto, by myself, played in the game. Did the same thing in San Antonio, but nobody never knew. It was times I flew in day of the game and played.
So while DeMar was spending all this time with Dad before it was too late, while trying to maintain being a basketball star, DeMar was also forced to watch the player he got traded for, Kawhi Leonard, win the Raptors their first championship.
I was gonna say, dog, I didn't even really think about all that, but as I'm hearing this story, hearing it all played out, I remember thinking like, damn, they did DeMar Derozan dirty. They never really built around him the way they could have. They just wanted him to just put the team on his back. Let's get it. You know, I'm going to get... like, he was just solo out there. And then when they got Kawhi, that's when they really started... Damn, then they won the championship. Kawhi is different, though. He just wasn't doing nothing with the Spurs, so... He really just wanted to get out of there so he could really play the way he wanted to play. That's tough. That's tough, man.
Ever, while playing in his old spot. And to make the situation even worse, out of nowhere, DeMar made an emotional Instagram post letting everybody know that his dad passed away. Words won't serve justice to what you meant to me. Never missed a game, a practice, an opportunity to show me what a great father was. You pushed me my whole life to be able to withstand the roughest of times. All I cared about was making you proud. But DeMar's dad must have been looking down on him, because not long after, DeMar was traded to one of the most famous teams in the NBA for winning championships, the Chicago Bulls. So DeMar knew that now was his time to finally accomplish Dad's goal. And instantly, he started playing his best basketball ever. Not only did DeMar start reaching milestones that only superstars do.
He got it!
Oh, DeMar Derozan.
He becomes the 50th player in NBA history to reach 20,000 points.
Some of his shots started making NBA history.
A 50-piece to put it away.
Yeah.
And he's finally getting the praise he deserves.
50-piece, look down. What's up?
He's a rough rider. He's not scared of anything. DeMar Derozan is doing this in the house that MJ built.
Name me a guy that got buckets like DeMar Derozan is doing since Michael Jordan.
But even with everybody talking about DeMar, all he's determined to do is win a championship for his dad. And no matter what he's been through, or will continue to go through, DeMar's embraced the entire journey, because it's all what made him who he is today.
Shouts out to DeMar Derozan, man. I rock with DeMar Derozan, dog. And I'm glad he's doing what he's doing on Chicago, bro. I'm so glad he's putting up points, doing numbers. You know what I'm saying? You never want to see, you never want to see a player that comes from the city, like, go through a rough patch, you know what I mean? Or a rough time. You want to see him thrive and be successful, man. So appreciate that, you know what I'm saying? That was the video. I hope y'all enjoyed that. If y'all want me to react to this one right here, this Jimmy Butler one, let me know. I'll rock with it. But keep giving me more videos to react to. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Remember to keep it real. Real's rare. Real always reaches everyone. Next time. Peace.